Hey, everybody, welcome to yet another episode of Back to the Light. I am your host, JD Reager. With me on this episode is my friend, musician, producer, engineer, Ari Morris. Ari, thanks for having me at your secret studio in an underground bunker here.
Oh man, thanks for coming by, dude.
Yeah, I saw that article going around that was done by Alex in the Flyer, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, holy shit. Because we knew each other, what, 10, 15 years ago?
Yeah,
That
man. I
we like
played. I
actively
played.
hung out.
I was a brief member of the Near Reaches
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. And the original Cindy.
and the original Cindy.
And I mean, you played on my second solo record. You recorded some of it. We did some sessions together at the U
Oh
of M
man, we were
studio.
like cutting timpanis, right?
Yeah. We had some fun times.
Dude, that was a lot of fun.
But it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been
So
a
and
while. I mean, you
clearly
moved to Chicago. You're back. I think I've seen you like twice since you got back.
yeah, I saw you at that Cooper Young Porch Fest.
Right.
I think it's the last time we saw each other.
I'm kind of a hermit crab, man.
Me too. Me too. I do this podcast, like 50% of it is forcing myself to get out and talk to people.
Sick.
So, like, I mean, you've got gold records on the wall now. How the hell did you get from? Yeah, I was saying this off the air. Like our last show that we played together, I think was an original Cindy show at the Dairy.
Right.
Like, how did we get here?
I don't know, man. I really could like how I don't know, man. Just spending a lot of time in the studio, I guess. Like, I right place, right time. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
that's got to be more. I mean,
Like, how do you? It's like it's like being in the right place at the right time to like connect with artists in a way that makes music that becomes meaningful. Like, I don't know how you do that. You just kind of.
well, I guess I was more. I mean, I was trying to be funny, but I wanted to. I wanted to.
I
I
know
want.
it. I got serious on you.
But I want to hear about the journey. But let's start at the damn beginning because I know you're not from Memphis originally.
No.
Um, big family,
Ish.
yeah.
Ish. I got like a brother and a sister and parents, and I got some cousins and aunts and uncles and stuff. So
Anybody else in the music biz?
no,
How did
no.
you get into it?
I really wanted to. No, I mean I started playing guitar when I was a kid, um, and I started playing in bands, and I was playing in a band in high school, and I like started. We had to figure out how to get some demos cut, so I bought one of those like man, you probably remember like those digital 8-track the Tascams, the blue ones.
Yeah, yeah.
So I bought one of those at Guitar Center and cut like my band's demo, and then I've always kind of had a little bit of hustler in me, so like I was like, hold on, like there's all these kids auditioning for music school, like I can record your demos. So I started cutting people's like college music school auditions and whatnot at like my band's practice spot, and then I ended up coming down to Memphis and like started interning at a studio and like kind of fought my way up through that whole like system.
You came here to go to recording school, right?
Yeah, I went to U of M.
And
That's where we cut a whole bunch of records and cool stuff.
is that where you feel like? I mean, is that where you put the skills together, or was it later in the intern process?
Um, I think it was kind of all. Like I swear I had no idea what we were doing when we did like stuff at the school. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, there's an element of that I think is that makes things fun.
oh, absolutely. And I still have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah,
But like,
in a good way.
yeah, in the best way.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I mean, it was like that, and then really it was like the like, man, I was lucky, honestly, is like with the like the intern system because like I ended up interning for some people that like really showed me how to do it, and like,
Was this Young Avenue?
yeah, it was a young with Skip McQuinn, rest
Yeah.
in peace, and then the
Legendary figure of Memphis studios.
the heavyweight. Um, and then Neil Jones, the bass player, producer, mixer, who's a hell of a legend in Memphis music, and like I ended up working with him as his assistant for years, and I assisted Malcolm Springer for a little while. Did some crazy records with him, and then like kind of during all of that, like started linking with artists at like pivotal points in their career and like building connections. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like I just kind of started running, and I never really looked back.
Did you always think you'd be? Because I think you're primarily known for hip hop. Did you always think that would be the case?
I had no idea. I mean, I've been a hip hop head forever, like really East Coast hip hop. But like I grew up on hip hop and heavy metal and like Jersey hardcore.
Yeah.
So like I never expected to like help, like be a part of like redefining trap music and like Memphis trap with kind of the wave of artists that happened. Like the Dolphin, the Moneybag, and the Key Glock, and all of that. Like I never expected any of that, but like I think it was like a natural meeting of creative minds that like made something new. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So were those guys like coming into Young Avenue, or like how did you build those connections?
Yeah, I mean Dolph used to come by the studio and record, and I would get tossed on the sessions, and like just we kind of caught a vibe.
You would get tossed on them because no one else wanted to do them, or like
no,
how did that work?
I would get tossed on them because I was like the requested engineer at the studio.
Oh, that's cool.
Like most of the time, if people were calling back then, it was like to book me.
That's got to be a good feeling.
Yeah, it was fun back then.
We definitely worked with you in the B studio that is now a like Airbnb or something over there.
Yeah. Yes, we did.
We cut a couple of songs that ended up on a Near Reach's 7-inch, and then one of those songs ended up on my solo record also.
Oh man, I took that copy of that 7-inch and I gave it to the people that I like my first band used to rehearse in their like garage for years, and they're like huge vinyl heads, so it's in their collection, which is pretty epic.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes,
I can give you another one if you need it.
I would love another one.
Yeah, I've got a couple.
Sick.
So, I want to go back to the U of M recording program a little bit. Like, what was that like coming, like entering in? Because I know, like when you first moved to Memphis, you didn't have a car, right?
No.
And you were riding the bus around.
Yeah.
Which is something that like you don't hear a lot from like from other
that's
musicians.
That's wild that like that's something you remember.
Yeah.
Like, you're going all the way back.
Well, I remember being, even back then, being like super impressed with how, because I mean, you have to really want to do something to move thousands of miles away from home without a car and be willing to ride the bus all over a town that's not really geared for mass transit.
Yeah, but like I didn't realize that because I'm an East Coast guy. You know what I mean? Like I grew
Like,
up in Jersey, so like trains and buses were like a regular part of my existence. I didn't realize that the bus system here was like completely dysfunctional until I had to rely on it.
I remember at the time you like trying to sell me on it. Like, no, man, it's not so bad.
No, I mean it's
it pretty much runs on schedule. Listen to the full conversation at backtothelight.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.